What's good, everybody? You are now listening to the Basin Is Life Podcast.
If you're struggling, anybody that's struggling with addiction right now, depression, alcohol, drugs, or just feeling lost, just know that this isn't the end of your story.
Where you're at right now doesn't have to be where you stay.
You are not alone. You need to reach out if you're feeling any kind of feelings.
And this table has experienced sobriety, has experienced any form of addiction. We all went through it. So just know that you are not alone. So addiction, girls, where do you think that addiction lies in sobriety? Where do you think we've been through addiction, but where did that start?
Childhood.
Yep.
For sure.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Childhood. I watched my dad, my real dad. He was an alcoholic. My mom, she's an alcoholic. She's been sober for 40 years.
Yeah.
45 years, My real dad, he did die from cirrhosis of the liver 26 years ago in September. And I was like, it's fine. But then as I got older.
It's normal.
Yeah. I was like, this is normal life. I didn't know what it was like to be outside of that norm and not be around people that were drinking or doing their thing,
And then a lot of people, I think that it's harmless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's illegal. Yeah. It's legal.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm personally a firm believer that there's kind of a perfect recipe for addiction, and I know that every circumstance is different, but we really understand about addiction is that some of the biggest risk factors are childhood trauma, family history, and untreated mental health, and for me, it definitely started long before I ever discovered using anything, you know what I mean? So for me, it definitely stemmed from childhood trauma and exposure.
Yeah. Exposure to everything. I think a lot of it too is going to school and hanging out with friends too. Mm-hmm. Hanging out afterwards. And you all gather together. You might be doing bad things, but it was an easy way to escape.
The way that we do now is because I know if I was parented the way that I'm parenting my kids, they won't be in the same situation I was in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I pick your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Picking your friends, that's a really good, and it's not you being a structured mom. It's not you being a mean mom, anything and going towards your parenting. It's because you're trying to keep them safe.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom would just let me do whatever I wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ran amok too.
Yeah.
And the reality is maybe unconsciously, I think as an adolescent and a young teenager, I really surrounded myself with people who were doing the same things as me so that I didn't feel like the odd man out when I wanted to drink or smoke cigarettes or smoke weed or do any of those things. We just ended up kind of congregating together, flocking together, kids that were doing the same thing.
Having that, how you guys say that your moms let you do everything, get anything, basically, right? There's some kids out there that have moms that are still like that, hey, don't do this, don't do that, but still do it. I myself, my mom, was a really good mom, where she would talk to me and tell me all this stuff, but I was a bad kid. I I didn't listen. I needed to go experience all of that before I can actually learn something. I feel like I'm that type.
Yeah.
I think there's a balance too, as a mom now in recovery, I want so badly for my kids to learn from my experience and my pain while also allowing them to have the autonomy to figure some things out themselves. And I think that that's a really complicated balance because I feel especially for our generation, a lot of us had parents that weren't super involved or whatever, and we did just run amok and do whatever.
Yeah.
And so part of recovery for me has been learning to unlearn all of the parenting tactics and then try to show up for my kids in a different way,
Yeah.
And some of that is allowing them the space to be hooligans and figure it out for themselves because they're their own person.
Yeah, and I don't think being a parent, you don't get a book. No. You know what I mean? You don't get the the do's and don'ts. You don't get that.
Yeah.
You have to learn when that baby comes out of your womb.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no handbook.
Fire.
Yeah, there's no handbook.
Yeah, we had mentioned something before we started. I was talking to December, and it's just breaking generational trauma and chains always.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, that just falls into line with it. You can't make your kids do anything. Like I was just joking when I'm like, I'm going to pick your friends and I'm going to make sure that you're home by this time, but they're going to do
Yeah.
what they want to do. But luckily, my kid had a mom that was an alcoholic. Luckily, I mean, he had to deal with that for the majority of his life, and he's just seeing me sober. And I think that he is so upset about alcohol and the relationship that he doesn't ever want to touch it.
Mhm.
I think having honest conversations with your kids, like you're saying, like my kids know what my struggles were. They know what I've been through and some
Mhm.
of it they went through with me, right? But like having
Yeah.
honest, age appropriate conversations about their risk because they are at a greater risk for substance use issues.
Yeah.
Like just, being honest with them. And I also feel like recovery almost pushes us into like examining those like family traumas and generational curses like you were talking about because we're in recovery and we're trying to live life differently and a part of that really is like looking at the past and being like nope, it ends with me. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, like all the resources here in the Uinta Basin, like if we had, like when I was talking to December about this, like I wish we had this when I was growing up. Otherwise, like I was like, if I was going through that, and if you were a counselor now, like mentoring these ladies, these people here in the basin, the walks of life, and being able to be there for them, because you can actually relate. You know what I mean? And I think that takes a lot from someone to have to go through it, but at least she's putting her best foot forward and actually kind of being here and actually helping somebody.
Yeah.
And that's really amazing, December.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I feel like historically we haven't had enough resources in this area for anything when it comes to like mental health, suicidal ideation, substance use issues. And a lot of it stems from like that small town stigma where we still have this belief that it's a moral failing rather than what it is, which is, a disease. It's a mental disorder, just like any other anxiety, depression, any of it. And they're not like people who struggle with these things are not bad people trying to get good. They're sick people trying to get well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so having someone to help people navigate in a way that's non-judgmental and lets them know that they matter, I think that it's kind of opened the door for so many people to get help, but also like not just me. We have so many incredible community partners in this area that are focused on these things, prevention, treatment, like mental health, all those things that we were lacking like back when I was getting sober. We
Mhm.
do have a lot more of them now, and the conversation is starting to shift.
Yeah, it's getting okay to talk about it. But before, if you talked about it, you were known as like, oh, you're stupid. You're kind of weak. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But now, like, you see it kind of grow. You see it growing and you see it evolution, like the evolution of it. And it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's like especially with this format, like it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say that I'm going to use the voice that recovery gave me, even if it's just to talk about the fact that I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
'Cause people need to know it's okay.
Yeah. Even if you are recovering and you have to keep continuing to stop and then try again, stop and
Yeah.
try again, just keep getting up and trying it out because it grows on you. It's a habit that you're forming.
Yep.
Just know that you're forming a new habit and life isn't like we said, like life isn't over. And how would you say? You would say something like, it's okay to start from the bottom because there's only one way up.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say that's a fair assessment.
Mhm.
And I would say the bottom is also like as deep as you dig it. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
So recovery isn't linear and it's not a one size fits all solution. And a lot of people, it's going to take multiple attempts for them to like get it, but they matter in every single one of those stages,
Mhm.
you know?
And everybody here at the table, like we've all experienced, we dug holes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yes.
dug huge holes,
Oh yeah.
but we're above ground. We're still here and we're just trying to make the best of life, try to live this life like the best way we can. We got one life and we're so lucky that we are here because I guarantee what other struggle that we had went through, we could have been dead a long time ago,
Absolutely.
but we're here.
We're here.
We're
We're
here.
here now.
We're
Yeah.
alive.
Hey, we're here.
What would you say about your experience at your lowest point in your life that you would want to share that, I don't know, like how like deeply impact you and made you actually change and like flip that switch and then be like, okay, I gotta do something about this. Like I really gotta be done.
Mine makes me emotional. Sorry.
You're good.
I walked into my grandson's second birthday with a black eye. I fell off my porch the night before, drunk, the whole side of my face. And I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing, you know? His birthday party, he's 2. And everybody was just like, what did you do? And I'm like, it's fine. You know, my mom's freaking out. I'm like, it's fine. I'm okay. We're not here for that, you know? Like, we're here for him. Like, I had sunglasses on to try to mask the big old bruise down my face,
Yeah.
you know? Broke my glasses off in my face. And I was just like, I'm done. That was my rock bottom. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I went home, and my boyfriend and his friends, still to this day, they all gather every day, you know, Monday through Saturday, and they drink. I'm okay with that because this isn't the life they chose. They didn't choose sobriety. I did. And I'm okay with that. And we went home from the party, and one of his friends was like, are you going to drink a beer with us? And I was like, no, dude, I'm done. Like, I was like, you don't know me very well because I have that off switch. And when I'm done, like, I am done. And I was done. I haven't drank since February 3rd, 2023.
Amazing. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Not even one, like, no tip. I can't say I didn't have any temptations because I have. Like, a hot summer day, I was like, oh, man, just a nice ice cold beer would sound so great. And I have a whole support system behind me, and they were like, no. You know, like,
It's not worth it.
yeah,
It's not worth it.
don't do
Don't do
that
it.
to yourself. And I was like, you know, I would love to sit around and drink, and then somebody would piss me off, and I was like on my fighting side. Like, the German came out in me, and I was like, I'm just gonna beat your ass right now.
Sober.
You know, yeah, anything, you know,
Yeah.
anything. And now I can, you know, I can be around people that drink, and I'm like, cool, I'm happy for you because, you know, there's been times, but I have never relapsed, not one time. I never gave in to that devil wanting to drive my car. Because I'm like, no, buddy, you stay on your side, you know? And a rule of thumb with my boyfriend is he drinks, and he won't even allow me to go in the store and buy him beer. He's like, you're not doing that. He's like, then there's no way I'm allowing that. And I'm like, cool, you know? And my kids drink, and I'm just like, one day you'll get it.
It'll register later.
Yeah, I pray for you, you know? And like, I have a son who's 29, and he's just like, you think you're better than everybody. And I'm like, no, actually,
Dude,
I'm
it doesn't
like,
like
dude,
kids have a good way of getting underneath your skin, huh?
yeah, they're, you know, he's like, you just think you're better than everybody. And I'm like, dude, no, I don't. Like, this is my story. You know, this is my journey. This is where I am in my life. This is my path. It's okay for you to drink. It's okay for your sister to drink. I just, you know, do your thing. You know, I'm not better than anybody. I'm had to live in my life, you know, being sober from everything, you know? So that was my rock bottom. That was my pivotal moment.
Yeah. And can I just say something too? Like, when you didn't have like those tools to begin with, and when you were drinking through those stages, but now like you found your armor, you found your tools, you found what sets those things off, and now you have that to work with. Before you never had any of that. You had to run through that experience. Just to grab those, you know, those tools, those armor that you have now. And, you know, you were blessed with that. So like, be grateful. Like, you're still doing it and you're still fighting. Like, yeah, it is cool. Like, other people drink around you and like want to have fun and like, you know, want to party and everything. Like, the party scene's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, especially my era now, like, party scene's freaking awesome. But do I need a drink? No. Like, should I? You know, no. But sometimes I do. Yeah, I fall off the wagon, but I get back up and I get back on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all you can do. Just keep going forward. And I think, you know, going through all of this, we've all had the tools in our bag. We just didn't know how to utilize those tools. And so we just kept it at our rock bottom. And then we came out of that, you know, hit that rock bottom. Those tools were still in that bag. We just found a different way to use the tools, you know?
For sure.
The lowest part for me was, I mean, after I had kids, I was still trying to convince myself that I was a functioning alcoholic. You know, I still went to work I still had a house that I kept clean. I still managed to be a good wife, but it was just all a front. Like I was lying about not only to my family, but to myself about the amount of alcohol that I was drinking. It was, a fifth of vodka a day that I would have in my garage. And I would just prance around the house with my wine glass and pretend like I was just drinking a couple glasses of wine.
Yeah, you know what? I will say too, like alcoholics are good actors. I'm a really good one.
Actors and hiders, dude. I'm still finding freaking beers in my garage that I had hidden from before. And cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I have cigarettes. Like I would find people's cigarettes and I'd steal them and then I'd like go put them in weird places. And it's just, that's besides the point. I mean, I was just a shit ass mom. I was a shit ass mom. I hadn't driven at night for 10 years. I mean, I consecutively drank every single day of my life for 14 years,
Every day?
every single day up until, getting pregnant and having my kids. But I mean, it was so bad that I had my baby, she's almost 4, and I had packed a bottle to take with me to the hospital so I could drink as soon as I had her. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally all I would think about. It's still all I think about. People are like, does it get easier? I mean, essentially, yeah, but it's constantly on my mind. I've only been sober 2 years and it's like, cut me a break. But I mean, I basically just cried out to God and I was like, this has got to stop. I lost my dad and he was an addict to other things. And I just didn't want to leave my kids at 60 years old. I didn't think that was fair to me. I didn't think that was fair to my brother or
your family.
To my family, It's like there's no such thing as an old drug addict. There's no such thing. It eventually will take you. And I just didn't want to not be around for my kids and it just like building that relationship back up with them after being a shit mom for so long. Like it's been hard, but I wouldn't have done it any other way,
2 years of sobriety is amazing, friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2 years is really good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you and you.
Thank you.
Proud of you guys. And thank you for sharing that. Like it takes a lot, but it takes a lot, but you feel good about educating the next person. Like you have to jump, you have to put on a face, you have to have the money, you have to have everything. You have to play the part if you have an addiction. You really do. You have to get into character and you got to know who you're fooling. You got to know who's going to take the bullshit and who can recognize it too.
Yeah.
Well, it's about hiding from others and running from yourself.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's been the hardest part of sobriety is just like the shame and guilt that come along with coming sober. I think, for me.
Yeah. And then a lot of it too is like some people that do drink, like they don't like their self being sober is boring. So when they do drink, they're a lot funner. They're a lot cooler. And to somebody else in someone else's eyes.
10 foot tall and bulletproof, man. Let's party.
I'm a cool person. Yeah.
Can throw down with the best of them, Nothing flat.
Yeah. And it's, it's everywhere. It's legal. It's at concerts, it's at bars, it's at weddings, it's at birthday parties, it's at barbecues, stuff like that.
I tell people all the time, I wish I could be the person that just has one drink.
Amen.
But I'm
not.
I'm just not.
Like, how do you even do that?
No,
Impossible.
Dude, I've got girlfriends that will like have a bottle of wine up on top of their fridge and it'll be there like 3 or 4 months. And I'm like, that would have been gone in 15 minutes. Like, and I drink it until it's gone.
And then me, I wouldn't even pick wine. Like I'd pick the hard shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we need to get to the point. Let's get to the point.
But when I'm pretending like I'm not an alcoholic, I'm drinking wine and taking shots in the bathroom.
Very relatable.
Yeah. I totally relate though.
Yeah,
we relate.
Yeah.
I remember my mom when I was little telling me too, she's like, well, we're alcoholics. We come from, and I'm like, Mom, but you've never drank. I've never seen you drink. Why would you say that? And she's like, I get it now. I get it.
For sure. And it takes a lot, like, especially if you grow up with it, it's immune to you and you think it's okay. You do it and it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to, grieve and all that stuff. And like, especially coming from like my background, like our generational trauma, like it's on another level. Like addiction's real. Like addiction's real on my side. Like it's so high. Like what December says, we're all at a high risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think everybody is, especially with the new day and age now, like.
Yeah, absolutely.
But people have choices too.
Yep.
You have a choice.
Yep. You have that choice.
My biggest flex was going on vacation by myself, and I was in a hotel room by myself, and I chose not to drink that day.
Love that.
Good
Like,
for you.
and I
job.
felt fucking good. You know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it
I
was
think
your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what gets me going too is I think that I rather wake up having coffee. I rather wake up having a cigarette. You know what I mean? I rather wake up not doing anything. You know what I mean? Or if I have something to do, then I'm doing it, but I'm doing it sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It feels great to wake up without a headache and just hungover and feeling like shit. And you're like,
for sure.
I need to have another drink to get this hair, the hair of the dog off of my chest. It just, it feels great. It feels great to wake up sober.
Best feeling in the world.
Yeah. Amen. Yep. Go outside and you smell the trees, the flowers.
Everything's
So much
beautiful
more
again, right?
present in
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
in recovery.
Yeah.
My favorite thing the first year was like, we rode down the river and I was like, I really like doing this sober.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember going down the river where I wasn't like smashed, you know? And it's like I'm like, oh, look at the tree. Everything is so much better now that I can
She's
see
like
it. I can
smelling
smell
the
it.
air.
Dude, it's just, it's like fairy tale princess shit. Like it makes me feel so good being sober.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't have the headache. I don't have the guilt. I don't know. It's good.
Yeah.
There's this book. So I got sober in like a program, right? And there's this book that we use. And there's this part of it that talks about how recovery is like seeing color for the first time.
Yeah.
And I always think of exactly what you just said, Brittany, because you do look at life in general through a new set of eyes when you're in recovery, and you appreciate the little things like the birds and the trees and, how green things get and the smells. Like you really just do. And I think for me, a lot of it stems from the fact that I shouldn't have lived through what I went through. And so I have this like second chance at life with this like beautiful new perspective that recovery has given me.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate all those little things too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that. It's like you're seeing the world through clear eyes, not glassy rose-colored glasses, if you will. You have a whole different perspective of everything, and you don't take the little things for granted. But showing up for yourself every day is that's got to be your priority, is yourself.
So I think what targeted me to stay sober and like get sober or wanted to be sober, I think what helped me out a lot was when I had like this realization, like I go to the hospital, they hook me up to like IVs and stuff like that. And my mom's far away, right? My dad's like in Vernal somewhere, because I go to Ashley Valley Medical Center, right? They take great care of me. You know what I mean? They took really good care of me. Yeah, they did. They even tried to refer me to her before I even knew her.
That's
and
where
then,
I work.
Yeah. No. And then, shout out to Step One.
Shout out.
Shout out to Step One. And then, so I get there, but I was sober when I went, and I was withdrawing through alcohol. I probably drank like a fifth of alcohol, like just straight. And I probably did a binger for 4 days without really eating, drinking like water or anything like that. When I was on these benders, like I was making sure like I ate, like I had water, but this one, I don't know why, I just didn't feel like the appetite or like the need to drink water to like eat or anything like that. I lost freaking weight. So when I went to the hospital, they IV me up. I told them I didn't want like narcotics or anything like that. And they're like, okay, they understood it. They're like, but it's going to make you feel a little bit better what you're kind of going through. Like you have to have it. And I'm like, I honestly don't fucking really want it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get addicted to opioids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's another addiction.
Yeah.
And I don't care for it. You know what I mean? Alcohol is my choice. So when I go to the hospital, they're hooking me up. The nurses there are so freaking amazing. Amazing. So I go through this whole system. Like my hands were like freaking shaking. Like I couldn't just stop it. My nerves, you can say. And I they admitted me, right? My mom, like I tell my boyfriend, like, hey, call my mom, let her know that I'm here. He calls her up. She comes flying down to Wyoming. The next morning when I wake up, my mom, it's dark, it's really dim. My mom walks through the door and I can just hear her footsteps. And just that moment in time, like I fucking broke down.
Yeah.
And my dad's never been in a room in like years.
Yeah.
Yeah, years. So what my breaking point was when they were both there for me, but they didn't have to talk to each other. They just sat there awkwardly.
Yeah.
But just having them both there and noticing like I am loved. You know what I mean? Like I do need to knock off my shit. My mom fucking chewed my ass out that day when I was better and like coherent and stuff like that. She chewed my ass out. My dad talked to me. You know what I mean? My uncles come in and they're talking to me. My grandma shows up, Merla. She shows up and I'm like, how embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just going through that, and then after that effect, they give me like anxiety pills, they give me all this stuff. So I go home and they're like, okay, now you can go home, you can go rest or whatever. So I go home and I don't fucking feel like myself. Like I got all this medication in me and I'm like withdrawing and I fucking automatically feel like my soul's fucking gone and I'm just in a body. And I cried to my mom. My mom was like, do you want to come with me to Wyoming? I'm like, no, like I need to stay. You know what I mean? Like I have priorities here. So she goes home to Wyoming, but I was like, cried to her. I was like, I don't fucking feel like myself. Like I fucking feel empty. And after that, like I believed in God and everything and I prayed and everything like that. But in that moment, I heard a song. It's a gospel song. And I related so much to that song and it spoke so much into me. Because I'm a Christian, not a Christian. I would say, I believe in God, all
Right.
forms of God, you can say.
Yeah.
You could be a Catholic, you could be a Christian. I don't get the point, but I believe in God.
Yeah.
And I don't care, if you believe in God in a different way, you're Mormon, kudos to you. At least you believe into something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so God helped me so much going through my sobriety, and I still use it to this day, and just praying.
Yeah.
Praying a lot, praying helps. And I could have ran to counselors. I could have ran to help, stuff like that, which I did, which in fact I did, but I didn't get what I needed from them, from what I got from God.
Yeah.
It felt good to have my soul back. You know what I mean?
Love that.
That's
Yeah.
inspirational. That's cool.
Yeah. It's another whole experience, but I probably wouldn't have done it without family. I had that
Oh,
good
yeah.
support system.
Yeah.
I have that culture spiritual system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really amazing to have those tools also on the res and be able to utilize them,
Yeah.
which in fact help too.
That stuff makes such a huge difference.
Mhm.
It really does.
Yeah.
A little bit different
the table jars.
experience
Oh,
than,
yeah, so-
than what you guys have had.
But
I-
shout out to Hit the Roast for the coffee.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm happy because I
She's
can
the
actually
best.
show this on the
Cheers.
podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
cheers.
She makes the best coffee, guys.
I do.
And she's cool. She's fun to be around too. So,
She's
you know.
amazing. Amazing.
I have a potty mouth though, so I apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry for swearing, but
Yeah.
when you get into that zone, you're like,
I'm not sorry for swearing.
yeah,
Sometimes
it's
you
in the
need,
it's in the
sometimes
language.
it has to show the dramatic effect of what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it was hard.
it was hard.
It was freaking hard.
I do
Yeah.
want to tell you though, kudos to you for being in the hospital and then because I went many times. I mean, I was in restraints. I had come down. I went
For
through the
real?
withdrawals. Yeah, and that wasn't the lowest part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't the lowest part for me. It was me really feeling like I was a bad mom.
Well,
and,
don't feel bad because I was
Yeah.
in hospitals, but it wasn't as bad as that at
Yeah.
that point. Then I was like, fuck
Yeah.
it, I need to chill. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I need to chill.
I went completely fucking jaundiced, dude. My liver shot.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get that far.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what I'm scared of too, because I don't want to end up with liver cirrhosis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be. I'm so fucking blessed that I'm not
Mhm.
diabetic. I don't have that,
Yeah.
and I don't have those,
Mhm.
and I'm just so blessed.
Yeah.
My real dad died at 52 years old from cirrhosis of the liver,
Yeah.
full-fledged cirrhosis of the liver. And when I got sober, I didn't dawn on me until I got sober, and I was like, damn, he was 52.
You know,
Mhm.
like I was
That's not
40.
you. Like
Yeah.
it's not that old.
Yeah. I was like, I'm 45.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's 7 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to be there for my kids, you know, and
Yeah.
I want to be there for my grandkids. And that was another motivating factor for me to be
Yeah.
sober. And, you know, it's,
Mhm.
I'm sure like 90% of people watching this will know who my little brother is. And
Yeah.
he's okay with me talking about this, but
he's great.
he became sober before me, so he's a lot of the reason why I did it. But he
Love
went
that.
he went completely jaundice. Did you remember seeing him?
Yeah.
He was yellow. He looked
Yeah.
like we got to the hospital, and here I am drunk trying to take care and mother him, getting him
okay.
to the hospital.
I know what you mean.
Dude. And he just like, the doctor was like, you look like a Twinkie. Like you
Oh
were
my gosh.
You're
you were
yellow.
yellow. His eyes, I mean, it took months and months and months. And he's 4 years younger than me, and just shows
Damn.
like we're not supposed to drink the way that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So glad. It's just been fun to be able to do that with him too. Like you would love him.
Yeah.
Like, have you met my brother Matt?
I feel like a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys would really,
Maybe
really
like back
him.
in the bar days,
Yeah.
friend.
You guys would like him now. Like sober Matt's cool. Like he's a bartender.
Yeah.
And he preaches sobriety. You know,
That
I
is
love that.
literally his job.
I love preaching sobriety, especially when I am drinking too, because it's like motivating. You know what I mean? Like one day we just need to really quit this shit
Yeah.
and then like get
Yeah.
really sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like
We
I
all
said,
live
like
in
I,
that insanity
Yeah,
of that
that's it.
process, I think.
I've sat at the bar and watched my brother. Okay, he's mixing up a drink for somebody, and he's like, "This almost killed me." Enjoy.
Good luck.
I love it.
People will come into the liquor store if we have like new products, and they'll be like, "Have you tried this?" And I'm like,
No.
I don't drink. And you work at the liquor store? And I'm like, here I am.
Here I am.
Like, I've been sober for almost 40 months on
So
June
cool.
3rd,
Yeah.
June 4th, you know? And I'm like, no. And I have like a great support system down there as well. I'll be like,
Mhm.
oh, maybe I'm just going to take this little Casamigo spicy margarita home and have a sip. And they're like,
No
my
one's not gonna
coworker-
know.
No,
you
you're
know what I
not.
mean?
my coworker's like, no, you're not. Okay, so I went in one time to
You
buy.
work tomorrow. You
Yeah.
cover my shift. You can't.
They're like, you can't do that. We won't sell it to you. And I'm like, you guys are old, but I have that support system, you know? I
Yeah.
went in one time to buy some Jim Beam to make some barbecue sauce.
Uh-huh.
My coworker was like, what in the hell are you doing with that? And I'm like, dude, I'm just going to make barbecue sauce for ribs. I
Calm
promise.
down.
Like,
I was gonna buy anything, it'd be beer. Calm
Yeah.
down.
I'm like, this stuff I never liked the hard stuff. Beer was my jam, you know? I could
Mm.
drink that whole 18 pack by myself.
Can you
was great.
guys actually have that though? Like, can you guys have that like beer, barbecue stuff like that? That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Cooks the alcohol
you
out if
like
you do
it.
it right.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
It
it
does.
does. It's just the taste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ingredients.
It just
That's
adds
in it.
like flavor, right? If you will, you know? But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I went off on that whole big thing,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah. We
your
were gonna
turn.
cut it. No, we're still cutting into her.
I'm good. We're just having
Yeah.
a conversation.
She is amazing. Let's give it up for December.
Oh, thanks. Stop.
I act like we're drinking. I'm a good sober person when we are drinking too. I can have fun.
So my experience has been a little bit different than your guys's, but I made a commitment to myself that I was going to show up authentically in this conversation today because I think it's important.
It is.
So I struggled with opioid addiction and other, street narcotics for a really long time. And so I feel like it took me definitely some different places than what maybe you guys did.
yeah.
But it all stems from the same thing, right? And it all
Yeah.
takes us like to the same bottoms, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I
Does.
love this question, but I never feel like I have a great answer for it, right? Like
Mhm.
like we just mentioned, like the hole is as deep as you dig it. You know what I mean? And for me, like my rock bottom wasn't necessarily a singular event, but like a prolonged period of time just living in like desperation and hopelessness. You know what I mean? Like I was to a point in my addiction that I could not use drugs. You
Yeah.
know, no matter the consequence, no matter what I was losing or what was crumbling around me or the fact that I was like setting my life on fire, like I
Yeah.
was so addicted that I could not stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was like a really dark period of my life where I felt completely hopeless. And mind you, this was in like the last year of my using. The last year that I used, it was really bad. And I ended up in places with people that I just hated, and I hated myself, and I felt like nothing was ever going to change, you know? And I went to treatment a couple of times, and I still slipped up, and I went to jail, and I got out, and I still slipped up, and I just could not stop, you know?
Yeah.
And uh, like right there at the end, I wish that I had like some big moment where I had like the light switch came on and I was like, I have to do this, because it
Mhm.
wasn't really like that for me. I had not used in like probably 24 to 48 hours or something like that. And I was so sick, like so sick to the point that I like could not keep chasing substances. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
couldn't go through all the things that it takes to like get them. And so I was just so sick. And I had people like, I feel like all of us collectively have shared about our support system. And granted, I didn't have a huge one at the end of my using. Nobody wanted me around anymore, you know, but
Yeah.
I had a few people that were so solid, and they believed in me even when I couldn't believe in myself, you know? And it was just like this weird series of events where, you know, people who cared about me came to me at the time when I was already so sick and didn't have like any fight left in me to keep going. And they got me plugged in with the recovery community in this area. And I won't dig too deep into that, but we do have some incredible resources here. We have 12-step programs. We have, you know, smart recovery. Like there's, you know, faith-based programs. Like there's so much that's like support groups. It's not
Yeah.
just like therapy or clinical. It's like peer-led, like people who have been through that bottom and understand it, you know.
Mhm.
But I got plugged in with the program that I work, and I just had this moment of clarity where I was like, if I don't do something different now, I'm gonna live like this forever, you know? And Brittany mentioned the no old drug addicts thing, and like that was my worst fear, was that I would end up an old drug addict, that I wasn't gonna die, you
Yeah,
know, because
yeah.
there was a huge time frame where I wanted to,
Yeah.
because I thought there was no other way out. But then when I didn't, I was like, I'm gonna live forever this way, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was really my fear. It wasn't necessarily that I would die, it was that I would live, and it would be the rest of my life the way that it was. And so I just had like this moment of clarity where I was like, I'm going to just try, you know? I'm just going to try what has been working for other people that I care about and see where it takes me. And at first, you know, this is the insanity of it, right? Like it's killing me. But I had this moment where I was like, oh, I'll just get sober until like my kids are grown. And then I
For
can
real.
do as many drugs as I want.
Yeah.
I have
You know,
said this.
You
Yes.
have to set a goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to
But
set some sort of
then-
goal.
But then, like, the more I lived it, the
Mhm.
more I just was like willing to give it everything I had.
Yeah.
Like there came this peace and freedom, you know? And
Yeah.
I'd never known peace or freedom like that. Even before I used, you know, like I come from a very traumatic childhood, a very rough background, like all the risk factors, like I've got those, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but I felt this peace and this freedom and this joy in my life that I had been robbing myself of because I had been running from myself, you know? And
Mhm.
recovery has been just really about like the journey back home to me.
Yep.
And finding purpose in what I've been through, you know? And so that's why I always am willing to like talk about it, like, you know, substance use, substance misuse, addiction, alcoholism, like all the things, right? Like whatever it is that you understand, whatever term, it's so hard and it can feel so hopeless and it can feel even harder to talk about. But the reality is like people use it to cope. I used it to cope, and I was so far gone that people counted me out. They thought they would bury me, and now I'm still here like standing in purpose, you know? And recovering and like not just living but like thriving, you know. I have a beautiful life today.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't know, it wasn't just one moment, it was a lot of things, a lot of darkness, a lot of ugliness, like just a whole year of rock bottoms before I was like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you get so used to being at the bottom,
Yeah.
like all you got to do is rise. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You
Yeah.
keep rising and you fall and you rise. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because like I mean I'm coming up on 9 years sober in like literally 3 days. It's like a
Yeah.
big deal
Good
for me,
job.
you know,
Good
because
job.
I don't know. The statistics aren't great, you know, for people who struggle with the addictions that I struggled with. Like I can't
Yeah.
even tell you how many of my friends I've buried from the same things
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I was doing.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of funerals, but I made it out, and I make sure that I never take a single day for granted. And so
Yeah.
even at 9 years almost sober, like I still have like a program that I work. I still connect with other people in recovery. I work in treatment. I'm on, multiple nonprofits that are recovery focused. Like I just made it my whole life so that it would be really hard for me to go anywhere.
You're like, I like this part, this version of me
Yeah.
now. I like this
I
part.
love this
and I
version of
don't.
me, girl.
And if you were to look, or if you didn't know yourself back when you were using, though, if you looked at yourself like, shit, that girl needs help.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think about that a lot. I think about the version of me that I was then. I don't know how deep in the weeds anyone has gotten into therapy here,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is about like meeting past versions of ourselves and making peace,
Yeah.
and for me, it's just about loving her better,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
holding her and letting her know that she's going to make it.
Mhm.
I
She made it.
Guess I'll cry.
She made it.
Hey, dude, cry.
She made it.
So I had my little bout with narcotic use as well. And when I got sober off of that, 17 years ago,
That's amazing.
I remember my
Yeah.
birthday,
Mhm.
like one of my friends
Mhm.
was actually my sister, but she's like, I got a birthday present for you. And I'm like, okay. And I
Yeah.
remember that was the last time I used. I remember sitting in that room with her and I'm like, I'm done, dude.
Mm.
Like I'm not going to get high anymore. And I thought I was sober, because I didn't do drugs,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
drank and I'm like, I'm sober, I got this. And now that I'm completely 100% sober, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is sober. And I'm okay with that, like my processing the real and raw emotions was one of the things that I had to learn.
Absolutely.
I didn't know how to process my emotions in a healthy manner. I was just an asshole. I really was. Like, I was just like, I don't know how to talk about these things without a mask,
Mm.
some alcohol. Just give me a beer, like, and then I can
Mhm.
talk about whatever you wanted. So
Yeah.
I went through the narcotic use as well. And I was like, I don't want to be 50 years old and still getting high.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know some
Yeah.
of those people
Same.
to
Yeah.
this day that are like 60 and they
Yeah.
still everyday users, and it's sad. But I guess when you're accustomed to that life, what do? They just don't want out, I guess, maybe.
Mhm.
So
I will say this though. Back then, you can try narcotics and it was safe, but
yeah.
now you can't.
Yeah.
No fentanyl's into play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't even
Yep.
dare to touch it.
Back then it was the good stuff, you know?
Yeah, and then since you were talking about opioids and
Yeah.
stuff, like pills were good like
Yeah.
back in the day, but now they're not. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You never
everything is
know.
real. So I was addicted to heroin. I was addicted to opioids of all kinds, but like
Yeah.
ultimately at the end, I was using a lot of heroin and a lot of meth. And I got sober right before fentanyl hit this area. And I honestly believe with every fiber of my being that if I was still using when fentanyl hit this area, that I would be dead.
You would have been
I believe
gone.
that because I was so sick and I was so strung out and I would have done anything, So I think it's like by design, whatever higher being you believe in, I believe that mine saved me, so that I could try and make a difference in the community. But like, yeah, you're absolutely right when it comes to what you're saying though. Like now you used to be, this whole opioid epidemic stemmed from somewhere and all these people were using pills, but they were coming from pharmacies. They were safe. They
Yeah.
were FDA approved.
They were stealing it out of their
Yes.
parents'
Yes.
freaking drug cabinet.
Yeah. And now people are buying them on the street and they have no idea where they've come from. And the dosage in 2 pills can be completely different. And so people are overdosing and dying. People have never used opioids before. And people who are using, they still the dosage, like there's no way to measure it. And so people are dying at like insane rates.
Insane. Because wasn't it every person overdosing? It's every 3 minutes, or did it go down
Something
a little bit
like
more?
that. I know
Or is
that
it 2 minutes now?
I think it was in 2025, 117,000 Americans died overdoses.
Wow.
And that's just in the United States in 1 year,
Yeah.
So that's like an insane number. And right before COVID hit, like that number was starting to decline because we were utilizing things like harm reduction resources, like Narcan was, starting to come up. And then 2020 happened and people just got so depressed and so many people died and it got higher and higher for a couple of years. And I feel like it started to stabilize, but fentanyl has just like wiped people out.
Yeah.
It's been so hard to watch. And in the work that I do, I work with people that are using all kinds of different substances. And now there's all these new substances that are coming into play like xylazine and kratom, and people don't really know the dangers or the risk factors of those, and they're getting just as addicted to kratom that they bought at a gas station as they are to fentanyl,
Mhm.
So it's the substances, it's a weird time. you know?
For
Just
sure.
be safe out there. If
Yeah.
you don't know where to get Narcan, if you don't know what it is, let somebody know because I can get it for you. Teach you
Yeah.
how to use it. Narcan saves lives.
Yeah. She's got it all.
Yeah.
So if you need to learn
Awesome.
about Narcan or just have it on you, then
Yeah.
it's better to have it on you than not.
Yeah.
Then you can hand it off to somebody. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
don't want to use it on someone, hand it to somebody, then they'll do it. If you
Yeah.
just tell them how to
Everyone
do
should
it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because you just never know when somebody is going to need it. And there's like this misconception that it's just for people who are using illicit substances, but the reality is it's for your grandma who accidentally took too many pills. It's for your toddler that found a pill on the ground. It's for your dog
Yeah.
that ate
your
a pill at the
dog.
park. Like, you just don't know
Yeah.
when you'll need it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, like, every life is worth saving and everyone can save a life. And Narcan saves lives.
Yes.
I've never
Narcan can
thought of
save
it that
lives.
way.
Yeah.
Ever. That's awesome. I'm gonna get one.
I actually
get
did a
you some.
drawing,
Okay.
right? Huh? I did a drawing for
Yes,
the
it
Narcan
was
thing.
so good. I still have my
Yes.
blanket with your drawing on it. It's amazing.
Yes. I will say too, like how our addictions are alcohol, we're downers, but hers is the upper.
Yeah.
And that is something you would think that alcohol is an upper because of the way it makes you feel.
Yeah, you're like,
I think I
Depends
used
on the
it.
night.
I used it.
yeah.
I used it
Yeah.
to feel good, but I used it also to grieve
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And it was
Absolutely.
really something. You know what I mean?
I think what
But-
really took me out is we had a stillborn baby
Mhm.
and I was like functioning, you know? And then it went from like just drinking at night after work to like drinking every single day in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. And you're right. I started grieving and I never properly got to grieve my baby or my dad being like sober. You know what I mean? So that it was
Yeah.
just like all of these emotions come in and after. That definitely has a big part of it. And like, I wouldn't even want to drink around people. I just wanted to be home and be by myself because I didn't want them to know what I was doing, for
Yeah.
one. And also, I was feeling bad for myself and I was depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's absolutely a coping mechanism or a
Mhm.
strategy that we cling
Yeah.
on to when we're hurting and we have no other tools. Like, we experience these traumatic events, whether it's something like what you're talking about or
Yeah.
even smaller things. Like, a lot of us invalidate our own pain and experience and then run from it by covering it up, you know?
Mhm.
But like, all of that grief and all of that sadness and all of that hurt like still lives in our body no matter how much we put in it to numb
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
And part of sobriety and recovery for me was absolutely allowing myself to feel those feelings when they did start to come up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not just like sitting in them and drowning in them, but finding ways, healthier ways to like work through them. But it's so weird the way that they come, you know, because it wasn't all at once. Like, it was a lot all at once, but
Yeah.
you know, it's also been spread out. But with like that grief, like, it lives in our body until we give it someplace else to go, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And I think that I think what made us too is like when we did grieve, we wanted to hold on to that grief for an excuse to keep using.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Too.
Yeah.
And like now can you say that since you're sober now, are you okay with your grieving now?
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
about you. There's not a day that you
Yeah.
probably don't think about it, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot easier to move on.
Well, I mean, it's just the why behind it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like grieving in general, it's going to be hard for anybody, but it's so much easier because I have control of my emotions,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not, I mean, take some pills or drink or do whatever it is that I would do, it just numb it out, you know? I
Mhm.
don't know. It's definitely been easier, I think, but also feeling those feelings, we're supposed to do that. That's a part of life. Everybody needs to do it.
And we're only human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not superheroes.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes.
But being a human is
kidding.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And part of it is that experience of allowing ourselves to feel through our feelings. Like, you know, it's such an incredible, like, you know, if you really think about the fact that we're here in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
it's so amazing. And like the full spectrum of emotions that make us humans, like, we're meant to feel those things. And not only are we meant to, but like, what a privilege it is to be human and get to
Yep.
just experience life that way and love that
Feel
way
all
and
these
grieve that way.
emotions. Yeah, I feel and being a person to walk through that life and say, I freaking survived that.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then be like, I have a story for you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
being able to share that and being able to let that be okay for you to share that story because someone like right now, like one of our listeners might be going through something.
Yeah.
And you don't
Hold
have to go
tight.
through it alone if
Hold
that's you.
tight.
There's help out there.
Yeah, there's help
really
out
is
there.
help.
But I will say, if you are dipping into a new addiction now, just remember that if you're going to do adult things, you're going to have to deal with adult consequences.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to have those hard conversations with
Yeah.
yourself or anybody.
With yourself or with anybody.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember what Kayla said on Burnout on the TikTok? What she said was pretty deep too, because she was like, it was something along the lines was like, being burned out doesn't mean that you're broken.
That's right.
It says life has hit you with some hard shit.
Yeah.
That's some real good shit. When she said that, I was like, dude, this girl.
You're like, poof.
Yeah. I was like, this girl, like, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kayla and the Burnout Boutique.
Heck yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, but I think we covered some really good deep stuff, and I appreciate every single one of you ladies for saying what you had to say, what the listeners are trying or what they're listening to. They have these tools to work through life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super grateful that you asked us all to be here. You know,
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Thank you.
So this idea came up when Amanda reached out to me on TikTok. She was like, do you want to talk about sobriety? I'm like, do I? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do I? And then it kind of rolled from there. And then I reached out, I was like, you know who would be a really good person? I reached out to December, and then I'm like, can you come on and talk about, you're going to have more knowledge about this than I would. I was like, I need your help.
Yeah.
She's like, of course, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm
We're
always
there.
willing to talk about it.
And then
That's
when
awesome.
I did hit the roast, which we got to redo the podcast, she was like, when I was talking to her outside, she was like, yeah, I've been going through sobrieties too. And I'm like, we're having a sobriety podcast. I was like, why don't you come on? She's
Heck
like, I want to. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, love it.
All
Love
these
it.
powerful women in recovery.
Good group.
And
I
what's
like
so
it.
funny is these ladies know each other.
Yes.
These
By
ladies know,
accident.
by accident.
Love that.
I've
by
known
accident.
December since I was a kid.
Little kids.
Yeah. And
Same
then-
with Amanda.
Yep.
Well,
And
she's
I've
known
known
me
you
since
for-
I was a little hooligan kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small world.
Just
small
sold
world.
me alcohol all the time.
Yeah, I did. That was sweet.
Building relationships to last forever. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
building relationships.
You know, and it's really cool. Like I see so many people that go in and out of that liquor store,
Mhm.
and you know, there's been probably like 5 or 6 people die in the 4 years that I've worked there, and I'm
Damn.
like, shit, you know. And then to see Brittany, when I was seeing her every day, and then all of a sudden she's not there, and you know, I asked my coworker, I'm like, is Brittany okay? Like, and she's like, yeah, she just quit drinking, and I was like,
Love that.
good for you, girl. I'm all for that, you know.
Mhm.
I am, because it's hard to watch people that are alcoholics go in and out of that store every single day, you
And they're
know?
good
And
people.
They
Yeah,
are.
They're good people.
They are. They're wonderful people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They just have, you know,
They're
that.
just sick.
Yeah.
They need help.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
worked at the liquor store before Amanda did. We never worked together, but God, I would see the obituary online and it was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
It was just all the time. It was somebody's
Yeah.
dad, you know?
Yeah. Or brother or friend, you
Yeah.
know. There was
Mhm.
like 2 just recently. There was like 2 within 2 weeks, and I was like, the last one that I seen, I was like, my God, like he was just in here. Like I sold him that last bottle
Yeah.
before he passed away,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh,
In this small town, like I feel like that happens so often
Yeah,
in between
yeah.
alcohol and like fentanyl.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
many people have passed away in the last few years. Like
Yep.
I think like 2 years ago, we had 10 fatal fentanyl overdoses in a matter of like 4 weeks.
yeah,
Like I've just been to funeral after funeral after funeral.
And
and-
most of them were our age.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It was, I mean, my
Yeah.
friends, people that I grew
Yeah.
up with, people whose kids I knew, people who I, was like a little shit ass kid with and then in
Mhm.
recovery with, and like people that I
Yeah.
worked with, as clients and things like that. And I just, like, it's so disheartening to see so many people pass away when you just know that there's freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then also like getting to sit in a situation like this and celebrate
Yep.
recovery and the people
Heck
who've
yeah.
made it out. Like those are my, like when it comes to burnout, like you said, like when
Yeah.
people keep dying, it gets exhausting. But then, you have these little sparks of like light of people who really grab on and they change their lives and then they go on to do incredible things. And even if that incredible thing is just to like be a mom, sober mom who
Yeah.
shows up, like that's
Yeah.
incredible. Like recovery is so beautiful. And I feel like people die in silence. And that's why it's so important to have conversations like this, like openly and honestly, because addiction doesn't discriminate. It's not just like, the people that you expect it to be. It's not just in trap houses. It's like your neighbors, your uncles, your coworkers, like people who, who matter, who struggle with this. And when we don't talk about it, people feel like they can't talk about it and then they die in silence,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first year of my sobriety, I was so quiet about it and I didn't want anyone to know. Maybe not that I wasn't drinking, but that I had a problem previously. You know what I mean? And the first time I openly had talked to a stranger, he came in and I was just having a casual conversation with him. And he said that he had some problems and he had been going to AA and invited me to go. And I was like, yeah, I'm sober. And he's like, how long? And I look at my phone and I'm like, I don't know, 300 days or something. And he like had tears in his eyes. He looks at me and he says, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
And I was like, me? Like, you don't even know me and you're proud of me. And it was such an overwhelming feeling. And it was so nice. And like, I see this with people in recovery a lot. People are like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But coming from somebody who can say that, it means so much.
Well, we all survived like the same burning ship together.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't at the same time or the same way, like
Yeah.
the people who get it, get it. And we know that, like there's this saying that the opposite of addiction is not recovery, it's connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that camaraderie that you're talking about, like people in recovery love so big and they love and support each other so big because we know that all of us could have died and we know that all of us could still die. And so there's like this deep connection and love in the recovery community. And it's so cool to be a part of. And like what you just said gave me goosebumps because that happens to me all the time. Like when I'm working events or anything, like people will come up and tell me like, oh, I haven't used in like this long, or I had one recently that was like, I just got out of prison and I'm like reintegrating in a home with my kids. And,
That's
I've been sober all this time and it just like fills your soul up, like the tears and all the things, because you're just so proud of them, even though you don't know them. But also the fact that like I show up in so much authenticity that people feel that they can tell me that. Like when you say that you said that openly and he was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm that kind of person too, and that's how I try to show up in the world today. And so that camaraderie, like it's just so deep. It's beautiful.
That's what's so special about you, December, is like after I had like I wasn't chasing that feeling, but like it felt good and I wanted to get it more. And so I knew what December was doing and her cause and her reason why, and so she had came into the coffee shop and we had a real ass moment and like we were both crying and I was just like,
sometimes,
guess what?
Just in the coffee shop crying. Hey.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to.
Yeah.
You need to. And it feels good to let that out and have that cry.
Yeah.
Have that conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you for being that person for other people too. Just like, if people here it is. But people know you for what you do. And like I was proud to tell you what I did, just because I was like, she's gonna want to hear this.
Yes, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of all of us.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All of us.
All
of us.
Yeah.
Beating the odds, breaking generational curses, and showing up in love and changing our lives. It's beautiful.
And to hear, like you said, the guy you didn't even know, to hear a stranger, just say, I'm proud of you. It's like,
so validating.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you.
Yeah.
That is great. And like I said earlier, and people come in the liquor store and they're asking me, I'm like, I'm sober.
Yeah.
Like that's my biggest flex.
Yeah.
I'm
Love
sober.
that.
I show up for my grandkids. I show up for my kids, but like I can do that sober. It's not like, oh, we're going to mom's for a barbecue and it's 1:00 in the afternoon and she's already an 18 pack in. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
No, they can, we can come over and we can do things and I'm okay. The first like month that I was into my recovery, it was hard. It was. But I'm like, Amanda, choose your hard,
Yes.
choose your hard. and so and what helped me is I had a drink in my hand all the time. Every single day I had a drink in my hand, whether it was water, tea, I had a drink in my hand.
Rewiring those
Yep,
pathways,
yep,
you know, with some lemonade or
yeah.
something, you
I
know.
didn't have a can of Budweiser in my hand. No, I switched,
Yeah.
and it helped me a lot. And the first, month, my boyfriend and his friends drinking on Saturdays and just having a good old time. And I was like, so I would just go upstairs, in my room, read a little book. And my boyfriend's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I have to do this for me right now. So the first month,
You had a plan
yeah,
and you made it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I told him, he's like, are you ever going to drink again? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
It doesn't even sound good, like
Mhm.
I told him, I said,
Well, you know what it costs now,
yeah.
you know.
And I have the strength, like I'm so strong-willed and so determined. Like when I set my mind to something, hell or high water, I'm going to do it. And like 2 months in, and he's like, you really aren't going to drink anymore, are you? And I'm like, no,
That's awesome.
I'm good. And 6 months in, I was cleaning out my hall closet, and I, like you, I
Found your stash.
I'm still
Yeah.
finding goodies.
It took me like 4 years of sobriety to stop finding things.
wrapped up in a towel in the hall closet.
Yeah.
I pull out this pint of Jack Daniel's apple, and I'm like, shit.
Dude, I got another question. Do you guys have dreams about drinking or dreams about
Yeah.
using? I had a dream. I've been
do
having
still,
dreams
yeah.
about doing cocaine for the past 2 days. And I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then when I do take it in there, I don't even feel anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, why did I do that? But I feel like I'm in such big trouble.
Yes,
You know
feel
what
that
I
way
mean?
too.
Like you're
Like-
betraying yourself or something.
Yeah, like I'm
That's it.
re-traumatizing
Yeah.
myself or something.
I'll be
Or
like
I'll
in the
get
act.
drunk. Yeah, and then something bad will happen. Then I'm like, shit.
I'll be like drinking, and then like in my dream, I'll be drinking, and like one of my kids will walk in and like just be like, "I'm really disappointed in you, Mom." And
Yeah,
then
I'm
I wake
always on
up
the
and I'm like,
verge of being caught in my dreams too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm hiding and sneaking, like
Yeah.
"Yeah,
the acts and the substances, like
Yeah.
like all the
Mhm.
things that I used to do.
Yeah.
And in my mind, like I'll have used it or I'm trying to use it, and someone's outside the door, and I'm like, "What are you doing, December?
Yeah.
You just threw away your whole life, you know?"
yeah."
And then I
Yeah.
wake up and I'm like,
It was a dream.
Thank
It was a
God,
freaking
you know?
dream. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
funny.
well,
Speaking
sometimes
of
it's a good
those,
reminder, I guess.
yeah. Those,
Yeah, I always wondered about that. But I will
It's
say
not a
too,
good
like,
time.
yeah, it's not. It really isn't. It's like you're reliving that trauma.
Yeah.
But I will say too, if you are trying to stop, you are trying to find your outlet, whether it's finding it through recovery programs, stuff like that. If you want to do it yourself, there's different ways of doing it. Like working out helps.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping busy helps.
Yes.
Always setting a goal for yourself. Even like what her goal was, it sounded stupid, but it worked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, whatever gets you to that next stage of recovery, you know what I mean? And I love that she talked about like working out, because recovery really is like mind, body, and soul. Like we,
Mhm.
taking care of ourselves as an entire human being. And so just finding ways to like move our bodies, and no one's saying you need to go run a marathon with 30 days sober or anything like that. You know what I mean? But like just finding ways to move your body and take care of it, like getting enough sleep, eating
Mhm.
healthy, and, just
Yeah.
like doing things that are good for your spirit too.
Doing stuff that's
you
good
know?
for your body.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that self-care.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you are in recovery too, you need to be selfish with your time,
Oh yeah.
with everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it could be hard because you're so used to giving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially in that state of like when you're drinking or using, you give a lot. You feel like
Yeah.
you need to give, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have that givingness about you. And it could be because you're just that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that. My brother went to the gym, and he teases that he, gave up one addiction and got another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean,
We always do everything to the extreme. You know what I mean?
You need to. Yep.
So he didn't just like jog a little bit, like you've seen Matthew.
Yeah.
Like
He ran the
he's
marathon.
He's lost like 150 pounds, and he's like
Wow.
Yeah.
all chalked up. Like what do you call that? Like ripped, dude. He's
Yeah.
freaking buff.
Yeah.
And
That's
He's
cool.
he's at the gym like twice a
Mm.
day, 3 hours a day. Like
For some
it's
people,
nuts.
that's not just physical either. Like that's where they reset their brain
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like they
Mhm.
throw in, earphones and
Mhm.
listen to music and challenge their body. Like
Yeah.
it's, for some people, especially people who struggle with addiction, we
Mhm.
do things to the extreme, but we
We
also
do.
there's like a return, right? Like we're
Yeah.
getting something out of it, and it's obviously good. So like the physical aspect, the mental aspect of like resetting, for me, I'm not running marathons, but I'm climbing mountains,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
the same thing,
Literally,
Yeah.
literally, she's
Yeah.
climbing. There's no mountain high
Yeah.
and there's no valley low.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
There's
right.
not.
Yeah,
There's
I
not.
do. I'm traveling, I'm climbing mountains, and it's the same way. It's a physical challenge, but it is so
Yeah.
good for my soul,
Yeah.
So just
Some
finding like
one-on-one time with
Yeah.
yourself.
finding
Yep.
what works for you. And even like seriously, sometimes it's just like taking a shower. And it doesn't have to be like these big extravagant like things that you're doing for self-care. Like I was just thinking about when I very first got sober,
Mhm.
I was in like full-blown opioid withdrawal, like an absolute mess.
Mhm.
And it probably took me like 5 days to take a shower, and I was just fighting for my life.
Yeah.
But like that was the most freeing shower I remember. Like I still remember that shower, because it was
feeling.
just like my very first baby step towards taking better care of myself.
Yeah.
Like I forced myself into it. So like even if all you did today to take care of yourself was a shower, like taking a shower, even taking a nap, like
Brush your hair.
brush your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yep.
can't brush your hair, brush your teeth.
Yeah.
If
Yep.
you can't
Mhm.
do that, you know what I mean? Wash your face. Like
Yeah.
little baby
Put
steps.
water on you because
Yeah.
life is water. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yep.
Like I noticed too, like when I would be like withdrawing or something like that, I would like go in the bathroom and get like a washcloth, and then
Yeah.
like how you said take a shower and stuff. I would just get a washcloth because I would feel my body temperature getting hot.
Mm.
I would just rub like a cloth on me, and I'm like, that feels so good. Then I would get in the shower. Well, I thank you guys for coming on the podcast and sharing those lovely stories, even though it was traumatic. It was super traumatic,
Shared
but
trauma.
we got through it.
Yeah.
We had to be there to get through it, to be who we are today.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah,
I love that.
for sure.
It's just like a trauma dumping session, but getting recorded. I love
And,
that.
God loves a good story too. And it does help, like, if you call upon him too, if needed, when you're going through those times. I've heard you mention it a lot, and I heard you too, whether it be a higher power
Yeah.
you didn't know spiritually, stuff like that. You too, when you were explaining, like, God help me, you know what I mean? That right there that makes me feel good, because it makes me feel like there is someone up there. There is someone looking out after you.
The
Yeah.
source.
The source, you know what I mean? Whether that be however you believe it,
Right.
Yeah.
they're there.
Yeah.
No matter what. But I thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. Give it up for the ladies.
Thank you for the
Natalie.
opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. And I didn't think anybody would know each other as much as we know now.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was really great. So December is, like I said, she works with Step 1 program. She's got things going on. Anybody out there that's struggling, she is a really good person to work with. I'm going to let her introduce all of her stuff that she's got. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, so just like really quick, I want to say thank you to these ladies too for like allowing me to be present while you share your story. Like I know that stuff is so hard to like dig into, but it's always like a privilege for me to hear other
Yeah.
people talk about their stuff. But
For sure.
if you are struggling and you are in need of resources, or you just like are in the contemplation stage of like maybe I need to do something different and you don't know where to start, please get a hold of me. Like I'm on Facebook. My number's literally everywhere, like it really is.
Literally, yeah.
So if you need it, I'm not hard to find, but like there's so many different resources. We have Step 1 that she's already mentioned, which is a medical stabilization program for alcohol or opioid withdrawals that we have here at Ashley Regional Medical Center. I also run a nonprofit called Be the Light Recovery that focuses on recovery support services. So one of the big things that we do is provide scholarships for treatment. So for folks who don't have insurance but need access to treatment,
Mhm.
we provide scholarships to a couple of different recovery home programs so that people can go and engage in residential, and a bunch of other things. I won't get into all of those, but we also have Project Alley, which is, our new women's residential home here in the Basin out in Tri-Forks. Shout out. They're amazing. They have a cleanup project coming up pretty soon, but they also have a graduation tomorrow.
Shout out to Project Alley.
Yeah, we love them.
Shout out to those
Yes.
girls that are trying.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see.
Yes.
Girls
Yes.
trying.
Yeah, being on the board of that program has just been such a privilege to me to get to work with those girls too. But like, we also have the Thompson home, we have Red Pines, like we have so many more resources in this area.
Shout out to Red Pine.
We love Red Pines. They're the best. My work that I've done with them has been so incredible. But just all of it. Like, we have so many amazing people now in the Basin doing the work. We have support groups, we have 12-step groups. We have, whether that's like AA or NA, but we also have, religious support groups in this area too. And we also have like smart recovery. So smart recovery is evidence-based and all pathways for any addiction. So like anyone who struggles with any type of overuse of anything, so whether it's substances or alcohol or, sex or gambling or whatever that looks like they focus on the root issue rather than the acting out. And it's like skill based. So, it's non-denominational, it's not religious, it's not 12 steps. Like, you come in and you focus on progress rather than sobriety, or, it's about what recovery and progress looks like to you. And we're also in the process of starting a family smart recovery group. So it would be just for the family and friends of people who struggle. But the U Project has started that, and it's not the family one. We're still working on it, but the smart recovery meeting is every Saturday at 11 at Kodiak Counseling.
Shout out to Kodiak.
Kodiak, we love you.
Shout out to all the therapists out there that are helping people recover.
We have so many amazing therapists.
So many therapists.
Yeah.
Shout out to Northeastern also.
And they're out doing the work too. Northeastern Counseling, their prevention advisory coalition is amazing. I love the work that they do. Like, we're on the other end of the work, like pulling people out of the river, and the prevention coalition is trying to keep them from falling in, So
they're providing life jackets out here.
Yeah, they're amazing. And if you're in that stage of thinking about what's next for you, if recovery is for you, or if there's hope after where you're at right now, please reach out, because outside of the Basin too, like, I'm connected with so many different programs. And I think a part of the fear for everyone to start the journey is they just don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. They don't know who to call. And like, I can help navigate that. You know what I mean? So
She can. She really can. And she's worked with some wonderful people like you can probably relate to also. Like we said, we all been in that position, and shit ain't easy.
No,
it wasn't. It wasn't, right?
not at all.
No.
But there is hope.
There's hope.
Hope on the other side, and we're all proof of that.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
And it could be bright. It could be really bright.
Really bright. So bright, you need sunglasses.
Yes. Yes. Love that.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, ladies.